All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Scalecast, the podcast where we sit down with CEOs, founders, and operators who are experiencing in the front lines how AI is reshaping their industry and the way that they are scaling their business. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Sam. I work directly with fast-scaling AI companies to help them grow even faster, smarter, and more effectively. And today I'm joined by Illia. He's the founder of Synth, a next-generation AI agent platform tackling one of AI's biggest problems, and that is trust.
As well. So you're going to have goggles, you're going to have VR helmets or XR goggles or IoT devices that you're wearing, right? And then imagine that you have a framework which you can customize. So you can create a character and name, maybe apply some persona, make it based on your fractal or maybe on your girlfriend's fractal, whatever we've seen in the movies. It's actually becoming possible. And that's how I see this framework being integrated and working everywhere. Because for you, it's enough to have, character or multiple characters where you define the brain and then you define the integrations and functionality features. And then I'm going into this all aggregator and marketplace direction where imagine that you want your synth to trade or generate passive income for you. So it means that you need to activate this and this integration and these skills to execute those commands. Or you want your synth to managing your portfolio, or you want synth to help you with the workflow and things like that. So we're going into pretty much autonomous directions where agents will be integrated in robotics, in cross IoT devices, and this is like the whole multi-agentic, multi-layered platform that I'm seeing being used in the future.
Incredible, man. Extraordinary. That's crystal clear, man. That's the destination. And who are your customers? Is it mostly going to be consumers or more businesses or both?
Yeah, good question. I'm seeing it both. It's just strategically super right now to see where right amount of traction we will have, because we're pretty much working out two directions. On the consumer side is actually creating your character, creating your personal assistant that's gonna solve some problems for you personally. But on the business side, on the B2B side, we're actually going into direction on one-click AI upgrade. So the way it works, Synth will analyze all your company information, pretty much all the software that needs to be used for you. He will define on the orchestration layer which agents you need to have to execute such a commands. And then pretty much the business owner just, type a website address, and Synth gonna be back with a widget. That's what we're already building right now. It's like one-click setup widget that can optimize your customer experience, optimize the user engagement, and then the coolest part with MCPs, we can directly call some very deep, cool features directly from your product or for your business and put them directly into AI. So, for example, right now, what we're building on the trading side for GT Protocol is one of our clients. We're actually building this widget where you talk to AI and instead of logging into the product, learning how to trade, spending a huge ton of time on learning about crypto and other stuff, you just communicate to virtual assistant that already recommend you what to buy and also buying that and already generating a passive income for you without you spending all this time learning about how to do it. So you just need to authenticate yourself as a user, log in with your wallet, and AI will do everything for you. So I think that's the future on the B2B side, and that's where we're taking.
Cool, man. So mostly it's going to be B2B, bigger companies and incorporate there. Yep. And I love it, Illia, like how this vision, you got it crystal clear, that destination. I really love it, and I resonate with it, man. That's super cool. So I have faith in you. I've trusted you. So let's say you guys are exactly on the right trajectory, yeah? So towards that vision, because you guys are crushing it, I think. Also the rest of the team, right? So, but I'm curious. What is the one thing, like the choke point or bottleneck, if you will, that you could already sense maybe right now that could slow you down along the way towards that vision? And if removed, would instantly unlock unparalleled, accelerated growth, getting you guys towards that vision even faster? What would that be?
Good question. I mean, there is a couple of them for sure. I'm trying to define which one is the main one. I mean, as I mentioned,
you can talk about all of them. You can talk about all of them.
Yeah. As I mentioned,
I think it's super interesting for our watchers to hear about that.
Yeah. We all compete with the big corporations. So in this case, and it's super hard, right? Because like OpenAI, Grok, Meta, Anthropic, all those guys have huge ton of investments, revenue, and then they pretty much can, build anything. And, they all say that, yeah, we're building it for others, for other businesses, but, it's like a monopoly pretty much. In this case, if you want to build some features, so for example, avatars that we launched was way cooler than something that you can see in Grok. But of course, because with the amount of money that Grok has and Elon Musk has, they can execute it super fast and go to market way faster than us. So all those components to find one unique feature that you need to execute in that specific momentum and that time, and actually growth to the right amount of users. That's always the tricky part for any startup. Then
so growth to talk to me about that. Growth to the right amount of users. You mean getting to more businesses, or what do you mean specifically?
Yeah. So for example, onboarding B2B clients or growing your user base in general, right, as a product, as a marketplace. So all those elements, they need proper go-to-market. Then you need to have a proper product, and then you need to do sales, right? So sales is usually marketing or business development. It's also a resource that you need to spend. So it's all this amount of parameters that you need to run in the perfect momentum to get to the market right. So this is like the biggest pain point, I think, for any AI startup currently.
100%.
Generally speaking, right amount of support you can get, and mainly it's all coming to investment, right? But then on the investment side, like investors are super scared because the market is super compatible, and then they're not sure if this or that company will give the best traction. But we're still seeing a great result, like Lovable, for example. Like, this is like an amazing result for vibe coding, right? Or Replit, for example, or Cursor. All these companies doing such a cool, huge results right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm
cool,
pushing it right now into this, as I mentioned, the interface, dynamic context-based UI UX direction, because I know that is one of the strongest component we have that actually OpenAI or other AI platforms, they still don't have. It's like when you say a command and then you have this interface that literally dynamically generated for you based on your request. And it's not just like a huge amount of text that you finding and reading in LLM, because it's not very user-friendly. Chat's been created in like 1960, and chat experience is very common for human beings, but it's still not the perfect interface you can have.
It's going to disappear for sure.
Exactly. You don't want to read a bunch of text. You want to have one button, make money for me, or one button, solve my problem. And that's where we go with MCPs and, this dynamic interface that we're building.
Yeah, super cool, man. And that's the thing, I think, for if you look at the strategy from these bigger giants that you mentioned, like they're all like really building horizontally. So when you can find something more vertically in an industry or a niche, then you're in the right space, because that's not their strategy. Of course they could, but you say they can build anything, literally anything. But it's what is their strategy? So coming back to what is their strategy and then anticipating on that, then you can still keep yourself and sailing in the clear waters, I think. And look, Illia, like a lot of leaders talk about growth as if it's like just more revenue, right? But in reality, growth and scaling the business, and that's what our watchers are like curious on. Like it puts enormous stress on existing systems, right? Teams, leaders themselves. And so when you look at the core processes inside Syn, so like marketing, you mentioned sales or client delivery, internal operations, etc. Where do you see AI not just fitting in, but really reshaping the way, like fundamentally, that you guys are scaling the business?
To be honest, like pretty much all the direction. Right now, for example, even the regular, development, I already mentioned development is, of course, but then user testing. Right now we're doing the product testing with AI, but then sales and, even the investors outreach, everything is made with AI right now. That's speeding up process super fast. You just need to understand how to use those agents right and how to correctly set them up. And there's multiple platforms running in parallel that actually help you to do that. So on the B2B, on the sales side, on the investor relationship side, it's already agent that help us to write in emails and then make calls, even help us with the sales and onboarding the new clients. But then on the product development side, obviously, that I mentioned, what else? Marketing, it's the same. Like right now, like marketing, you can actually, like what we're doing is like automatic post creation. So right now, Synth Agent is automatically run multiple social media simultaneously, multiple accounts, generated its own content, knowing the data sets that he needs to use, and then he just made fully automated autonomous posts. I'm not even checking the Twitter account, for example. Like I know that I'm gonna have 5-10 different posts a day that made by AI.
Crazy.
And that's like fully automated marketing. So
cool,
that's,
man.
you know.
Cool. I love that. And that's I think the key, especially for early stage startups, is really focusing on the marketing, getting in front of people, putting your product in front of people, and really honing down on your outreach and your online presence. And I think you guys really narrowed that down. So Illia, we're coming to the end of, again, like a fire episode. I think there's a lot of value to unpack for people here. And I always want to leave the audience with something special, because of course you already have like a really big track record and a pretty amazing career in the past. And you've clearly been building and leading through different market conditions and different trends. And then we're right now in the biggest one ever with AI, of course. So if you had to leave our audience with the single biggest lesson that you've learned in your entire business career, what would that be?
I think it's a combination of different thoughts and different ideas into one.
Okay.
But it's pretty much you have to constantly adapt to the market, because whatever idea you had, you need to transform that idea on understanding that the speed of development is like multiplying to 100, and like you need to adapt to that speed of development. So if you had the idea a year before, it means that you might need to change and pivot it and find that, market fit a couple of times. And the most important one is, no matter how many times, if you're an entrepreneur, no matter how many times you falling or you are not happy with where you're at, the most important is how many times you can stand up and continue doing what you're doing and find that positivity inside of you, that energy, that push you forward to continue building something. Because the entrepreneurship, especially with the current tech, is just, a roller coaster of, every day being super happy with the small achievement and super upset and destroyed because you lost something or you're not executed or you're too late. So that amount of, information that you're dealing with, the most important one, just to keep yourself mentally strong enough and happy to push forward, to push through based on all this craziness that's what's going on around. I think that will be the main recommendation from my side.
I completely agree, man. That's it. And in a broader perspective in life, right? You got to keep going. And the cool thing is that, we're really impatient, and that's good. You got to be impatient with inputs, and you got to be patient with outputs, and keep going and keep inputting, and the outputs will ultimately come. It's literally mathematical impossible. If you keep putting the inputs in, that's how the world is built, If you, like, simple example, if you work out, you're gonna have muscles. If you drink water, you need to go to the toilet. That's how it works. Same with business. Super simple.
Exactly, 100%.
I love that.
Just like we shouldn't be like the business owner shouldn't be scared to pivot the idea or change something or maybe build something new. At some point, maybe you're already too late and you need to build something totally new. But all of the experience that you learn during this path, getting to the point where you're at, just give you the right amount of push to build actually something that's gonna work. So that's the most important thing.
I love that. Thank you so much, man. Guys, again, thank you for making it to the end of this episode. Illia, thank you so much for being here today with us. And
thank you so much, Sam. Appreciate it. Anytime, ping me anytime. And if anybody want to check Synth, it's synth.gg or app.synth.gg, and just find me on social media. And I'd like to to talk to you guys. Thank you.
We'll drop a link in the description, guys, so you can check Synth out. We'll drop a link to the website in the description, so you can check it out right there. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching, guys. Fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got massive value out of it, and maybe have some new insights that will help you to scale your business to the next level. Make sure to drop us your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you want to keep developing yourself, guys, into the skilled and knowledgeable entrepreneur you need to be to create the business and the life of your dreams, then make sure to like and check out this episode right here, where we talk more about scaling your business. We'll see you in the next one. Adios.
Thank you. See you. Bye.